I'm Nemesis, and this is the State of Economics 101. Let's dig in. Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? I see we got Jason the Tiger Osborne dropping in. FA's hot and heavy. That's what's up, my dude. Golden Wolf, he's like, damn, just updated a rig in Hive remotely. And now it's offline. Guess I need to set up my remote PDU this weekend so I can reboot the rig remotely. It's always nice to be able to do that, especially when you don't have time to physically touch the rigs all the time, or you've got them at a different place and it's just easier for you to remote into them. It depends on your setup, but for sure, I mean, if you're on the go and the thing crashes and you have the motherboard set up to reboot upon power on, that's also a dual-edged sword too, because there are times where you have an issue going on with the rig, and here it is, you go to push to reboot it, and now you do a little bit more damage. So dual-edged sword. It's like most of the time a good reboot's what it is, especially when all you've done is an update, right? But just be careful about that too. I always warn people that you could reboot yourself into a meltdown. Something that was fixable is now no longer fixable. So always kind of, it's nice to have it where you have a camera on there and you can see if it let the magic smoke out or not before you hit the reboot button. But for sure, it's always a nice little option. Sorry about being a little bit late starting up, guys. We're having an ice storm here in northern Illinois, and we clearly heard a pop, and my whole house power turned off for a moment and then came back. So obviously a transformer blew because of ice probably hit either a tree branch coming down on a power line, or a power line collided in with a tree branch, as it started drooping with all the extra ice on there. I'm not running as much electricity in the neighborhood to keep the power lines nice and warm for everybody. So, I mean, we could probably blame this on the miners, because like if I was mining at home at scale that I was at, that probably wouldn't have happened. What is your thoughts on that, Bobby? If I had the mining room all the way up with everything I was running, do you think that ice would have had a chance to sit on that transformer that popped for us?
I have to say the power came on and off.
It did. It came out with the quickness. But, I mean, do you think it would have happened in the first place? I mean, is the possibility, like, there that I might have been able to save that transformer? He doesn't want to give a determination. He's probably thinking yes, but he's wanting to be indecisive. I'm just going to call him out like that. He's like, I'm trying to eat here. Just leave me alone. That's what you get for coming out here. You became part of the conversation. Golden Wolf, he's like, no way, ice would form, but as thick. It's like, I'm just saying, could the mining of me pulling that many amperage? I mean, there was like 72 GPUs in the house plus a few ASICs. I'm just saying, I might have been able to save that transformer, but Crooked Noise wants to charge me too much, and it's not feasible to mine out here because they want too much in power. But so hopefully I don't have any. Hopefully I don't have any issues with stream moving forward. Hopefully this like slows down a little bit out here. And yeah, so So hopefully, moving forward, let's dig into this, guys. What's going on? Hopefully everybody's having a great week. It is Wednesday, so it is hump day. Yeah. It's like, oh, you have snow today too? No. The snow is north of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So it's a pretty good distance away from me. So the snow line's just north of, it's north of me. So I'm in the rain and ice belt right now. It's like, oh God, this is bad. I wish it was just snow. If it was just snow, it wouldn't be so bad. Cause like being that it's being more into the evening time, we'd be switching over into snow right now because the temperature would be coming down. But it looks like we're just going to be in this funky ice storm and it should start sleeting. It's what it sounded like it was doing earlier. It's like starting to sleet. It's like, yay, ice pellets. So, weird time of year. So let's kind of go. It's like I woke up to snow and didn't want to get up for work. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Sometimes just like you want to stay. You're like, oh, there's snow, man. I kind of want to get on my snowmobiles. Work or call in sick for snowmobiling? Decisions, right? You had hail yesterday. Oof. That's rough. That damages stuff. So it's like, ouch. All right. So let's kind of dig into today. It is the State of Economics 101, episode 7. Yo, this year is getting past us, guys. You know, we're going to be putting down the second month of the year. Stuff's getting crazy. We got Biden going out to the Ukraine and telling him that we have his back and we are going to provide $100 billion more to him to aid the proxy war in the Ukraine, which means that they're going to print more money to fund this. And who's the ones that are really benefiting from this? The weapons manufacturers. Who are the mega donors to the Democratic Party this round? The weapon manufacturers. So you kind of see where the alignment is on this aspect. But this is just pushing more of that war sentiment from the government, going, yes, the people want it, because the people, I mean me, want more donations next round because we did a good job. This is their good boy ticket, at the expense of taxpayer dollars. So expect that inflation's going to start rising back up. There are charts that are starting to show that inflation's not going down. And some of it is a tremendous lagging indicator. But here, let's dig into the beginning aspect of all of this before we go into the meat and potatoes. So if you guys have never checked this out, this is TradingView. It's free. I'm not shilling them. I got no affiliate, nothing like that. It's just one of the places that I use that gives good free information that's live. So we got the S&P 500 up 0.26%, 0.24% it just changed. NASDAQ 100 up 0.61. Bitcoin down. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. My computer's acting funny because again I lost power. So it is what it is. What up, MC? Afternoon to you, my dude. U.S. dollar is up 0.39%, so the dollar strength is going up, and it will, because if you are in the asset classes that benefit from a stronger dollar, you're going to notice that your investments are also up. As you can see, Bitcoin, gold, silver, and stuff like that never really fared well when a dollar index is strong. because it puts people into more riskier asset classes, and it's more of a risk-on situation where people will go into something that is going to yield them out something a little bit better in the short term, before they start looking at going into the long term on this stuff. Now, we did have Jerome Powell sitting there talking about wanting to do another interest rate hike. I don't know how much he's going to do. I really don't foresee him doing more than a half a point interest rate hike, considering that the market looks like it's trying to rally right now. Bitcoin, being the underperformer here. But if you go into like the regular stonks, Apple's up almost 0.3%. AMD is down 0.21%. Amazon is up 1.28%. Tesla is up 1.77%. Netflix is down. Meta, of course, is down, but I don't care about Meta. That AKA Facebook, for anybody who doesn't know what this ticker is now, that is Facebook. So some of the crypto markets, the crypto market cap is just a little over $1 trillion, guys. We are down almost 1 point in the total crypto market. Bitcoin itself, like I said, it's basically down 1%. It's trying to hold on to this as a support line, and it looks like it's doing a pretty damn good job. It's doing exactly the plan that I was kind of thinking that it was going to follow. And of course, if you look at any other poop coin out there, it is going to be looking at the big bad boy daddy Bitcoin and going, "What are we doing, Pop?" And he's like, "We're going down." And he's like, "Okay, Dad." And they all come down. There is nothing safe in the crypto market when Bitcoin starts rolling down. It becomes a very risky asset class, because like a lot of times, a lot of these other cryptocurrencies that are out there are being backed up by other cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin price drops, everything starts dropping, and they have nothing that they can do about that. He's like, Pop. What up, Patrick? Why only 6 watching? Oh no, I really don't look at a whole lot of poop coins. This is more of a market summary, so this is actually what TradingView has pulled up for what they see has got the most trade volume on it. So this kind of goes in by trade volume. So you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Avalanche, and Uniswap being the big traders that they've been watching, right? And the last 3 kind of swap in and out. It's like, I got a singing intro. Yeah, Patrick. What up, what up? It's like, all right, so, and then we can go into the Forex market. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Forex market, this is the dollar trading against other currencies, right? So when you hear, "Oh, I'm a Forex trader," they're basically arbitraging one country's currency for another, and holding those currencies on their portfolio, and as like if I was in the U.S. Or say, let's see here, if I was in U.S. Euro, right, and I see that the U.S. Japan and U.S. Canada is trading down, right, I might sit there and take my position and put it over here into one of these two. Probably I would pick like Japan. I mean, you're gambling here, right? I would probably be picking wrong because I do not watch the Forex markets. This is nothing that I really dabble into trading. It's just an interesting metrics to see what country is actually doing good compared to the U.S. dollar. And it looks like the British pound is actually doing pretty decent compared to the U.S. dollar. So good for Britain. Looks like Australia is doing good too, but Australia is a heavily manipulated market. the Australian market never popped back in 2008, 2009. So they're still riding on a massive balloon. And when that balloon deflates, Australia's going to sink like a rock, guys. It's going to be an economic disaster for Australia. That will be an interesting one. It's like Japanese exchange is good now for foreign video game geeks. We can get a lot of things at a good discount right now. Yeah, I've heard of people grabbing stuff out of Japan. I mean, I used to sit there and like do that for Nintendo. Like I've got like some Japanese, they were Asian market only games, for my original Nintendo NES. So I mean, yeah, you can. They've got the games out there that are really interesting, and then they've got a lineup on the old stuff too. So if you nerd out on the old stuff, like that's usually a pretty good market to go get them too. But that's a whole different thing. I mean, it's like, are you collecting it to trade them, or are you collecting it just to have it in your collection? And that becomes a whole different sentiment of why you're doing it. I think I bought a lot when I was in Japan, but should buy more now. Yeah, for sure, right? They're going to be like, for anybody who's like a nerd on old games, yeah, that's the place to go. Now, if we go into futures market. Now, the caveat to the futures market, guys, is that you are not taking ownership of any product. This is going to be the paper derivative market, basically. So you're basically gambling on what the price is going to be for whatever futures market you're going to be dabbling into. It's a little weird to kind of get used to, and not a lot of people are successful in the futures market because of the fact that you got paper gold, paper silver, paper oil, and it's like, and you're dealing with like future sales. So what the people end up doing in the futures market is they'll buy it at the beginning of the contract period, and right before the contract period is up, if they were never intending to take ownership of it, they're going to sell it off to somebody that's going to take physical control over it and actually pay. So it's like a contract that you're paying. It's so weird, and that's why whenever we saw the crude oil drop into the negative per barrel, it was on the futures market. The contracts were up, and nobody had any place to store crude oil. So instead of taking in whatever the contract was written out for, let's say 50,000 barrels, right? You had to have a place to store 50,000 barrels of crude oil, because when that contract is up, you have to take ownership. Same thing with corn, Bitcoin. You got the Bitcoin's futures market and everything. I wouldn't mind doing that on the Bitcoin market, but no, I'm still not wanting to go down into it. Robinhood has paper Bitcoin. Yeah, it's the Bitcoin futures market, the Bitcoin ETF. But Robinhood has a different type of paper Bitcoin, because you just buy you're buying exposure on Robinhood, and then you can never take ownership of it no matter what. So it's a different type of, you're investing in. It's weird. And basically you're paying the company that bought the Bitcoin, because it's not even Robinhood that buys that Bitcoin. It's a third party company that's giving Robinhood consumers an exposure, and what it does for them, it gets them their exposure to Bitcoin for free. They get to keep the balance book of all the Bitcoin, and everybody else takes the risk. It's a win for them, 100%. That's why I don't trade on Robinhood. Robinhood is robbing you. You are the product, because they've already exposed how they're willing to shut down a market just to manipulate it. But yeah, anyway, so all the futures markets are down right now. So people are basically selling their contracts off at a loss, except for the Bitcoin ETF. So the Bitcoin futures market is doing pretty good. It's up 2.5%. This would be like Grayscale, GBTC, and products like that. So Bitcoin's rallying in the futures market. This shows that there's still strength in the market, even though we're trading sideways overall. The futures market catches up a little bit, and we might be hitting in for another little rally going up. And I don't mind us, like I say, stair-stepping our way back up on this, guys. That's exactly what we're doing overall. We are definitely stair-stepping right now. So we popped up, came back up to the line that we should be holding no matter what, popped back up, and now we're testing it as a support line. We can trade back down into here, guys. It's not a problem. We can certainly trade back into here. It won't be nothing. Basically, we kind of smacked off the bottom. We bounced up. We can kind of come down, and even if we come down a little bit, but if we start oscillating, with higher lows and lower highs, we are officially in bull run territory, fellas. This is what you guys are looking for when you're looking at a bull run. But you need to sit there and have the data kind of come out a little bit more, right? We need more empirical data to support this hypothesis. Right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of bull run territory, right? And now we're having a cool down. And it's doing exactly what I was thinking. I was like, hey, we're going to trade out sideways, and we might pull back down into it, test into this support line area. We're going to hold this, and then I'm not saying we're going to rocket off from here, but we should kind of start oscillating a little higher and a little higher as the market starts treading up. And what we're seeing here is like the market kind of hit that plateau, traded out sideways, and now we have people that are going, you know what, screw it. I'm going to cut my losses right now, and I'm going to, so it's shaking out some weaker hands before we start rallying up a little bit higher. So hopefully these people are either selling at break even or a little bit above. This way they're not losing money, because as this thing continues to rally up, they're going to sit there and go, damn it, I should have held on. We just hit back well over where my initial buy-in. This would have been X profit I just missed out on because I couldn't hold on. I couldn't do the one simple thing all the Bitcoiners have been saying me to do. Hodl. GameStocks revealed a lot to the general public of how it all works. Yes, it did, Patrick. Yes, it did. GameStop and a few others. American Movie Classic, AMC. They were exposed with some of that too. There was like 3 or 4 of them that kind of got exposed for heavy manipulation through Robinhood, which really kind of, I don't know why anybody would use Robinhood at this point. They've basically breached consumers' confidence, in my opinion. That's just me. That is just me. Now, you could sit there and try to draw, affirmation lines all you want. Start back here, draw one over, and be like, look, we're going to start trending up in this here. I'm going to take this one, go like this, and see it should start going up from here. That's not how it always works. We got to see if, wait for the next 2 or 3 days. The next 2 or 3 days are going to be what really starts helping dictate where the next move is going to be overall. I always tell people, if you're going to trade, look at the market, watch it for 3 days, and then make a better decision than you did 3 days ago. Ooh. Wow. Like, everything is like just flickering now. Hopefully I still got internet going. Hopefully, it looks like I still got connection here. It's still raining out, guys, and like, I have an ice storm. If it continues doing what it's doing, I may opt to turning off my computer. Well, my computer, I've got it on a UPS. I mean, I don't have to worry about my computer power surging, but I don't know. I'll just keep going until it, like, the internet just, like, doesn't let me do it. All right, cool. Everything looks like it's still good. The house just flickered once again. Stay in his channel. He has market there. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we just got to sit there and kind of wait for what the market's going to actually do. It's like we just rallied. We've done a double rally here, and it's normal to see a few consecutive days of pullbacks after a good rally. It's like, I bet it goes back inside my channel for sure. I really do think that we're going to come right back into here. It makes the most sense at this point. We've rallied out, and we need to open this up for our support line. This is a healthy market right here. I would expect a more mature market to respect the market movement and not be so parabolic. I mean, this whole FTX crash here, yes, that's market manipulation. The market bottomed out. It tried to rally up, and then people reminded themselves that it was the end of the year and they needed to have tax losses, so they started selling off again. And then at the beginning of the year, like I had said, we started popping back off, and it shook off the whole FTX thing like it never happened. You want to know why? Because the market had already bought the Bitcoin. That's where people don't understand. It's not like they lost, like FTX didn't lose Bitcoin. That's what the beautiful part of this is. They lost customer funds, yes. They gave it away. That means somebody bought it on the other side. That means that the market had already purchased all the Bitcoin that FTX already had before it imploded. And the only thing that they were playing around with at that point was a small honeypot of Bitcoin, and then a crap ton of their own FTX token, the FTT. And whenever the FTT market imploded, that's when everything got exposed, the market responded, and then the end of the year taxation season came in. You know, it was kind of like a little double whammy on the market. Just sucked that it happened so close, so, like right as I'm sitting here setting up a business, you know what I'm saying? As I'm setting up trying to be that, entrepreneur. And, I have to blow through almost all my funds to get this business going because of this. And, it's like, it's frustrating, but it's like, it's like, what am I going to do? Markets are markets. You live in the market, you die by the market. That is the sentiment. So we're looking at, Bitcoin probably going to come back in and retest this lower level here a little bit. It would be nice for us to start bouncing up. Like this was, like we have 1 or 2 crappy days, pops back up here, and we retest onto that $25,000 mark. I would like to see $25,000 per Bitcoin hold by the end of the month. We only have a few days. So, I mean, we have a few days for that. We only have, 6 more days until the end of the month. So we got to make sure that we have all of that set up, right? So, and watching, watching what Bitcoin does, of course, Bitcoin pulling back means that everything else gets to pull back too. My UPS is not happy. Like we're seeing like little mini spikes here. But we look at the rest of the market here, and we see that the rest of the market is, for the most part, up nominally or mostly down. Anything that's rallying right now is people trying to rush into areas where they think they can hold value. And you'll find that those people are the ones that'll get hit the hardest. They're the ones trying to walk into those asset classes like that. I'm surprised that Litecoin overall is up almost 1.5% on the day, but it's also been down, almost, it's 7.25% down on the week, where Bitcoin's only been down 50, almost a half a point on the week, and it seems like the bears and the bulls are battling it out right here at this level. I really think that I think that the market's going to sit there and start rallying here at this point, going towards summertime. It's kind of a normal thing for this, that we start seeing a small nominal tick upward as we go into summer. Wintertime, it pulls back. So we're just seeing what we're seeing the battle of overall is where people's buy-in points were versus them just trying to get out of the market at this point, going, oh, I can't handle it. It shook out a lot of people. It made hodlers, but some of those hodlers were only hodling until they can get their money back out. That was it. They weren't dumb enough to sell at a loss, but they're not. I'm not going to call them they're dumb to not stay in the market, but I'll say they're not as informed on understanding the market that they're trying to play in, and that the volatility is a good thing. It gives you that arbitrage of potentially having a massive upside, but it also comes with the caveat of a massive downside. And it gets worse the lower down on the poop coin list you go here. You could sit there. Flow, I don't even know about this one. It's down almost 5.5% on the day. Theta, almost 4.5% on the day. Terra Classic. I don't even know why anybody even touches this one. Oh, that's funny. Neo. This one's been around for a while. This is an older project, guys. Full disclosure, I have some Neo. It's an old Neo wallet. I would need Neo to get to $100 per Neo before I can grab it, and before I'd be willing to sell. I need to get back into my buy-in territory on it. Otherwise, I'd be taking a massive loss right now. So I'm an internal hodler because I bought in at the wrong time. He's like, oh, back. Yep, sorry guys, I'm having power issues because it's an ice storm today. So if you're not getting anything, please refresh your screen. You keep going down this list down here, and your losses get even harder, guys. Damn. Conflux, if you were holding in for a while, you're down 16% on the day, guys. This is why I worry. I tell people, be cautious of what you're getting into. 100% be cautious of what you're touching. Because if you sit there and you go, oh, wow, I'm making money with it, be prepared to be, as soon as you're getting payouts, if you're mining it, be trading it right into Bitcoin where you can hold your value. 189% uptick in value would have been really nice compared to, being down 16.2%. Now, if you've been mining during this whole 7 days, you're still up. So I would be sitting there and going, this is probably a good time to transfer it into either Tether or into Bitcoin. Not financial advice. It's just something that I may be inclined to do, right? And there's no rhyme or reason on why it's really being pulled back the way it is. There's these markets are, they're gonna ride it out like this. Bitcoin's gonna, kind of trade out sideways here, I think, until the whole SEC regulation market kind of cools down. We'll get into some of that tidbit on here too. What up, rude? Just woke up behind my computer. Nice. So I'm still briefly touch on this one. This is the U.S. Ending stock of crude oil, and they still have not printed out. I'm hoping either at the end of this month or at the end of next month they'll make the next report. I forget how. I have to re-look it up and see what the interval is on them reporting barrels of oil, crude oil. I'm hoping it'll be soon here, guys, so that we can get more of an update of where we're sitting at. It's still lagging where the last report ended in November. I don't know if it's like 4 months. Every 4 months they do the report, or every 3 months, or is it every 6 months? I have to re-look it up. My brain is like not wanting to remember that little bit of information. Don't know why. Woke up in the mining room one time and was thirsty as, yeah. I know that one, man. It's like I'm lucky if there is 22% humidity in the mining room right now. Yeah. So, I mean, the U.S. crude market here is definitely not. I think that they've been sitting there and still releasing barrels of oil, and eventually they're going to be doing this even more. Good God! My house flickered again. I have no idea if it's going to be a lagging indicator. I'm like, my whole house just flickered once again. I don't know if we have internet. Oh, dear God. So, all right. It looks like we still have internet. It looks like I'm still connected and broadcasting. Awesome. I have not lost connection. Woo! But man, my power bank is definitely not happy. I'm pulling 315 watts max on here. So not mining. I'm just sitting here streaming with a 3080 Ti and a Threadripper. It's like, you are still here. Sweet. It's like, you're good. You're still good. Sweet. It's weird to see my house just flickering. I'm like wondering when I'm going to lose power altogether. Yo, what up, droid guy? So, getting into it even further, guys. They also have come out with the Consumer Price Index report, guys. So January of this year, with their manipulated numbers, it looks like the looks like interest for us consumers has gone up only 0.5% because it's the way that they have manipulated these numbers. Now, if you sit there and you only look at it in certain different directions, if you were most people, they stop right between this chart and this chart, and they're like, "Oh, look, blue line is all items, and red line is without energy and food." And they're like, "Look, the without energy and food, the prices really haven't gone up. So realistically, it's the price of energy and food that's really the only thing going up." Well, that's not so bad, and until you are getting hit, destroyed on the because you're not one of the top earners, or you unfortunately, with life circumstances, you have a garbage job, you live in a crappy area, and you are living paycheck to paycheck. I have friends that are like that. They live paycheck to paycheck, and there's nothing that they can really do to get themselves out of it. Not that they're willing to sacrifice for it. I've made comments on certain things, and people take things too personally when you get up into their business. So I learned really early on to be like, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Yep, must be nothing you can do about it. But there's always something you can do about it. And if you come down in here and you just look at the CPI for urban consumers, U.S. cities average. This is a very important little number here. It's U.S. city average. I forget how many cities that they sit there and they call. It's the same cities that they've called over and over again. And these areas have fixed prices in there. So there's like a lot of, they have a lot lower prices in these areas. So they can hide a lot of the high priced areas out of these numbers. And that's basically what they do. So this is a reflection of the areas of which they normally never see a lot of inflation, are seeing massive amounts of inflation for their little area, which means if it's a poorer neighborhood, they're being decimated right now. Food being up 10% by the end of January. Food away from home, so takeouts, fast food, restaurants, you're up 11% because somebody has to cook it. You're not just if your food at home is up 10%, that means 11%, 11.3%. That is the price that they're charging you for the help that is needed to cook and serve you that delicious meal. That you didn't have to cook, right? Energy, up 8.7% energy. And this is going to be gas, fuel oil, and stuff like that. Energy services, up 27.7% to produce energy. Why? Because a lot of these they're not green energy, guys. That means that the fuel, the coal, or the type of fuel that's needed. Hey, baby. The type of fuel that's actually needed, is, costing them more because production here in the United States is so low, and they're competing with that same fuel energy that we are. So this makes it very hard for them to get us that gas. So as prices go up, they need to sit there and do the same. They have to charge everybody else more. So this is 12-month unadjusted, right? Now when you get into the adjusting side of it, then you start seeing some really funky numbers. And they bury that stuff all the way in the report. Most people don't keep scrolling down in this report here to actually see some of the breakdowns that are actually hidden in this report. That's a lot of, like, if you start looking at it, it looks like a whole lot of gobbledygook, right? All items up 0.5%, right? This is the average. So this is the adjusted. So food at home up a half a point. Yeah, right. But considering that, corn cereals, meat and poultry is up more than just 1%. They're just averaging it out. You can sit there and kind of keep scrolling down, and you can get into it, and where you see how they're manipulating all of this. Eggs up 8.5%. Chickens down in price right now. Chickens kind of bounced back. They killed all these chickens off because of the avian bird flu, but chickens bounce back quite quickly, guys. So eggs will the egg price will come down, but I don't think by much, guys. I think everybody's now wanting to see these prices right where they're at. But you can kind of go down. Let's see here. They had it where they were showing food away from home, full service meals and snacks. This is a category where I get it. You're at the gas station, you see the Snickers bar, and you're like, ooh. But you're making Snickers rich by doing this, because they're like snacks and stuff like that up 0.5%. Vending machines are up 1.7%. I mean, that is ridiculous. Footwear, people need to walk around. Guess what? That's going down in price. Jewelry is up 0.3%. Watches. Really, people? Watches are up 2.2%. You really need to be sitting there buying that garbage? Just saying. I know that. Exactly, babes. The Apple Watches. You know who I'm talking about. It's like, yes, I have a watch here, but this thing, I've had it for a hot minute. It's not a new watch. Let's see here. Right, audio equipment. Yeah, audio equipment, 2.8%. So people are buying audio equipment that is more expensive than it was before. Wow. And that's only in the side of a few months. It has rose over the course of a few months. Like a few months prior, it was down 2.4%. It's now up 2.8%. That means we had a 2x explosion in pricing on stuff in the audio department. Alcoholic beverages at home up 0.5%. Depending on what it is. If you're drinking whiskeys, you're up almost 1% in prices. Wine, you're up almost 1% in wine. If you're a smoker overall is almost paying 1% higher prices now than you did a month ago. I mean, these are areas of where we can all be cutting our saving money down. Recreational toys, cell phone stuff, alcohol. These are areas, and it's like, yes, I understand. We all like to have a drink. We all like to have our left-handed cigarettes. Some people like to have their right-handed cigarettes. But yeah, if you're looking to sit there and figure out how you can dig yourself out of the hole, think of all the stupid stuff we all spend our money on. Everybody does it. Very few people have I ever gone through. I'm like, okay, what do you make? Okay, where does all this money go? And very few people have I ever come across that can actually say, and you look at it and you're like, damn, dude, you define living paycheck to paycheck. And they go, yeah, I sit at home. I'm bored. I have no extra money at the end of the week. It's all paid for, pays my bills and my lifestyle so that I can keep on going to work. I'm like, that's slavery, bro. I'm like, you need a new job. And it's like, you try finding a new job when you're working 2 full-time jobs or 2 part-time jobs already. It's like, touche. and that's the economy we all live in now, where two part-time jobs and you're still in the ghetto. And a lot of it is being hidden into these prices right here. Internet services. Let's see here. Residential phone services are up 1.7%, right? Internet and electronic information providers are up a full percent. It's like all these things are going up, and if you sit there and you tick back on the 1%, and you add it up over the course of the last few months, it's up 10% over the last few months. Not being averaged out. You take the raw numbers and you just compoundedly added it up, and you're like, oh my Lord, that is a lot. It's been jumping up. So, I mean, these are things that we need to, every one of us need to be cutting out. I mean, I do nothing at home. I've seen snow, and I haven't even spent any money to go out snowmobiling. Both of them are ready. It's like the wifey can attest for that.
Yeah, it sucks.
I wanted to go snowmobiling really badly. We had the snow for at least one day, and I didn't want to spend it because I knew that I would end up at the bar. I would have a good time because, that's what you're doing. I go out to the different bars and I socialize with some of the people that I know that I've gone to all these different little places, and then I'm spending X amount of dollars in fuel, so I cut that out of my budget this year. As bad as I wanted to ride. My sleds are raring to go. And the wife's sled's ready to go too. I mean, she wanted to go too. I got her heated hot gloves, and we haven't even been able to use them yet. It's like, yeah, 2 years. So, I mean, it's like everybody needs to sit there, and you want to dig yourself out of the hole. Stop spending money on stupid stuff. Stop. We can sit there and look at what the commodities prices of everything all the services and goods you're paying for, and go, are you willing to pay 5% more to have that? Is it convenient enough for you to need that? And a lot of times it's no. So everybody can sit there and cut stuff out of their budget. It's just one of those things. Moving on to seeing why the market has, what we've been seeing from the SEC. And if you guys haven't been paying attention to this one, FTX, according to Mr. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, FTX poked the bear, and the bear is pissed. Talking about the SEC. Gary Gensler is now on a warpath on all the crypto exchanges in the United States, going, I was relaxed with you guys, figured you guys could sit there and kind of take care of it. Crypto kind of does its thing, but now it's looking like Gary Gensler is coming after these people to make sure that they are no longer allowed to do anything shady on the backside. And it's something that needed to be there to begin with. FTX got in over their head with a group of kids. I mean, let's be realistic here. They're a bunch of 20-year-old kids. I mean, I sure as hell in my 20s could not run a multi-billion-dollar business without having the knowledge and expertise of somebody who's much older than me and was already running a company like that. These are things that they did not put in place. They did not have anyone with experience in there, and too many people trusted two inexperienced people to run everything. And they got in over their head. Gary Gensler was turning his head to the whole crypto network and the whole crypto space in general. And some people are thinking that that's what's starting to lead into the pullback on the market. With crypto pullbacks, there's always multiple things that kind of add into one big reason. There's never any real pinpoint unless you could sit there and be like, oh no, FTX exploded and the next day the market dropped. You can go a little more correlation with that one. I'll give you that. But overall, when you see the market kind of pop off and kind of ride up and down, trading sideways, it's pretty much, it's multiple things in the market that add up to that particular market pulling back. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. some of the fallout from the FTX companies that were, that companies that were involved with FTX. I think a lot of them either went belly up by now, or has kind of made a foothold to at least start to slowly dig themselves out of that hole. But again, Gary Gensler is going to be on the warpath. That's why he's going to go after every U.S. based crypto exchange out there. If they are sitting there and offering out a Ethereum staking validation node, be prepared for that to come under the crosshairs. So if you're one of the people that are foolish enough, in my opinion, to be investing into the staking platform for Ethereum, you're going to have to find a non-US based one to be able to do that, because the Ethereum staking is now considered a security. It passes the Howey test. So technically, it can no longer be offered here in the United States to regular people outside of accredited investors. I tried letting people know this. Hopefully none of you people out here that are watching right now are foolish enough to be involved with the whole staking program for Ethereum, because I don't know what you're going to do at this point. What up, Nick V? I didn't get involved with it because I just didn't like the product that they were offering, and I was not going to support that product. And it looks like I am glad I did not support this product. I don't know how they're going to do this moving forward. But I don't think that Gary Gensler is going to give Ethereum a pass the second round. So we'll see where they go from here. That will be 100%. And we have some people in the market going, the next bull run will be coming from the East. So he's talking about the Asia persuasion on this one. So Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss believes that the next bull run will come from Asia, while America has two options: embrace crypto or be left behind. And I believe in this sentiment a lot. It looks like Asia is going to be unbanning Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's okay again in Asia. They just called, so I think that we're going to see a little bit of a pop off. I don't think it's going to be like right off the bat like everybody thinks it's going to be. It's going to be a slow little persuasion. It's like, yes, when you can stake 30 ETH when you're not a small man, it's 32 ETH, and you're looking at more than $32,000 to stake right now. That's ridiculous. It made it a rich man's game. Ethereum did the same thing that all the governments did. They went to the highest bidder, which is always the corporation. So now it's a corporate coin. But we are seeing the sentiment of bull runs. We're seeing some of the printouts for bull run status. Like I keep saying, I think we're looking at people getting shook out of the market, people taking their money back off the market because they just can't handle the volatility, which to each their own. They can kick themselves in the butt later on whenever they realize that they missed out on a lot of the upside potential. That'll be their little demon that they get to live with. It's always that one meme, You remember I sold Bitcoin and you go to sleep and your brain gets out on the couch, pulls out a videotape and puts it in, and it's you selling Bitcoin in 2010. Yeah. They'll have their own unique experience with that. It will be their own meme that they get to own themselves. And even with the market looking like it's going up, there is one thing that I see as being bad that the market has come out with. And it makes me cringe to say this, and it's coming right out of the Middle East, so India. It's like, Wheeling, what up? Good evening. It's like, you're getting refunded. Nice. Good to hear, Wheeling. Good to hear. So India expands its national payment network to Singapore. What's in it for crypto? India's national bank network, the Unified Payments Interface (UPI), is expanding its services beyond Indian borders, integrated with Singapore's Pay Now rapid payment system. Chikatanas Das, governor, I probably just butchered this guy's name horribly, and I'm sorry for that if you ever catch my video. The governor of the Reserve Bank of India, and Ravi Menon, manager director of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, launched the facility through the token transaction using the UPI Pay Now linkage. We have bridging support in the CBDC program. So this is your central bank digital coin, guys. So this is private by nature blockchain. It is they are definitely using blockchain technology on this one. So the Bank of India and India Overseas Bank and India Bank will facilitate outgoing remittances, and Axis Bank and DBS Bank. India will facilitate incoming remittances. The DBS Bank and Liquid Group will provide the services to the users in Singapore. So they'll be able to sit there and be able to just kind of wash the tokens back and forth. This is the beginning of basically control over the Indian citizens. And yeah, I mean, talk about having absolute control. I mean, if you control somebody's ability to go put food on their table, you in essence control what they will say and what they will not say. This will turn out to be something that's horrible, because of some of this stuff. This is how it got implemented into China itself. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then they clamped down. So I mean, if you guys ever start seeing the central bank digital coin being talked about in your country, you guys need to jump up, be the loudest voices in the room, and say no. You know, get a hold of your local authority, your local politician, wherever you're at. If they start talking about it and you start telling them why that is the worst decision, that they could possibly make for the U.S. citizens or for your, wherever you are in the world. Do not let them try to transfer you over to this. This means that they could sit there and turn your money on and off at will. Or you can do what the Digital Yuan does. Digital Yuan has a very interesting feature built into it, which is if the country needs you to spend money to have monetary prosperity, they will put a time limit on that coin that you have to spend it, or it will be burned within your own wallet for the greater good of the country. This is stuff that is it will influence your spending behaviors, and eventually, once they start influencing your spending behaviors, they can start influencing your overall behaviors in the public. If you don't think that it's going to happen, and that all these governments are not wanting to push their own version of it at this point, you're sadly mistaken. All of them want to have that absolute control. And remember, if you're in Britain, you are owned piece of property, and that's how a lot of countries look at it. I mean, look at us in the United States. Do you not have a social security number? That's all we are to the government, is a number. So we are sheep or pawns in the game. And we basically have to try to fight back in the most legal terms possible, which would be, writing your local politician if you ever hear them starting to talk about it. You need to start voicing up. If you don't, they will usher in, the social credit system in your neighborhood. India is basically looking at the beginning of the social credit system, with the UPI integrate, especially being integrated with Pay Now users. Its next stop is that's what it's going to be. So unfortunately, I feel bad for the India people. Too bad it's not Bitcoin. It's not going to be integrating anything with regular crypto, and it may be their way of trying to stop people from purchasing Bitcoin. Period. Because now you're talking about using a UPI ID, and they can sit there and go, "Oh, we don't do business with that country," or "Oh, we don't allow you to do business with that website." Or you find out that no exchange wants to take your central bank digital coin. So I mean, there are multiple avenues of how this is going to backfire on the Indian people, or the people of India. So that is true, Jason. The Tiger Osborne. There are 9 awesome people watching, and we don't see enough FAs in the chat. Guys, put some FAs in the Chizzy chat, please. Come on, guys. Let's get that. There should be 9 different people dropping some FAs. And if you haven't done so, smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, especially if you've made it this far, guys. Yo. Because all of you people are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo. That's right. That's right. So we are over that 1 hour marker. The wife is home early, guys. So I think I'm going to sit there and call it a night from here, guys. Spend some time with the wifey, figure out what we're going to do for dinner, and all of that good stuff. What's going on, Integra Guy? Dropping those FAs. Integra Guy, man, I'm just getting up out of here, bro. Just getting up out of here. Is anybody going live or is live or after me right now? Not that I see. When is the next poker tournament? Aeon's Aeon, I think, is going to be the next tournament,
Easter.
And it'll be Easter. They're talking about the 8th. Which I don't really care. I don't celebrate Easter anyway. That's kind of something that's for kids mostly, in my opinion. I mean, the meaning of Easter has lost its meaning over the centuries for what it used to be. Oh. So thank you, everybody, for being here. All of you awesome people. With that being said, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And peace out. Stay savage. And may your watts be low, your hash be high. And if you want to have your rigs hosted at the facility, you want to get into the Patreon, links down below. Get into the pseudo hasher tier. You know you want to be there, especially if you're going to have your gear here hosted over there. Get your VIP access now. Do it. Because I want everybody there, and I want to help you be profitable. Be more profitable than where you're at right now. And if you're not going to be having your rigs hosted, but you're new here, definitely join the Discord. Links down below, guys. It's free to join. All that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo!